I'm Sean Smith. This is Sean Smith Photos, where I edit street photography and occasional travel photos with On1 Photo Raw. Welcome to my channel, and let's get into it. All right, so I've got a photo queued up here from a couple of weeks ago when I went on a little walk by myself. And let's just change this so we get more real estate on the photo. This is in Kensington Market here in Toronto. I was sitting on a bench drinking some water, and then this old man sat down at a table, looked right at me, and basically I couldn't help myself. I had to take the shot. So I want to process this and bring it out and see what we can do. I think it has a lot of potential here. He's got his orange and his weird facial expression that maybe a little bit bad timing for his face, but we'll see what we can do. And let's get on it. And as I usually do, at least until On1 Photo Raw 2023 is released to the general public, I'll start with noise and sharpening and hit no noise AI. I'm really keen to try out the new sharpening and no noise options in 2023, but I don't have access to that yet, so we'll hit this and it auto zooms in, does its little thing, and we can move the little slider around and see that, yeah, the lines on his shirt are much sharper, his face is better, his glasses have a little bit of a sheen to them. I'm just going to apply. I'm quite happy with that, and let's put this back to fit, and we'll check the histogram. I'm not so good at the histogram stuff, but I'm starting to try and use this to make sure my image is a little bit more balanced. Go back to tone and color. One thing I used to do but forgot during COVID when I didn't get out for photography very much is to check the camera profile and toggle through this to see what it does for each option, because it'll change the way your photo looks as a baseline. So yeah, I don't like that one. That one really brightens it up. It's a little washed out though. I'm sure we could fix that. Too much shadow. Portrait and neutral are almost the same. Okay, camera portrait. Camera standard. Camera vivid. Linear raw. And On1 standard. I think I'm going to go with camera portrait. Oh, it didn't save that one. Let's go back here. Camera portrait. Okay, so it's brightened it up a little bit. We don't have as much shadow here. It's a little bit washed out, but I think we can work with this. First things first, let's crop the photo. And before I crop it, I'm going to level it because I have a problem with my horizons in most of my photography. And since we know the edge of buildings are pretty much horizontal, I'll just draw a line along here, let it do that. And let's see here, we want to crop out that sign because it's distracting. I think that's a pretty good spot. Hit enter. All right, so we're really zoomed in on him. And now that I'm looking at this, it looks crooked. So maybe I should undo that and re-straighten, but straighten it on his table instead. Yeah, okay, that's a little bit better. And we'll do the same thing with the crop. We'll get in tight. Yeah. Let's go with this. And now let's just also try out AI Auto, see what it does. Not really a fan of that. Let's go back to manual, try AI Match. That's even worse. Manual. So what do? Exposure's the same. We up the contrast a little bit, drop the highlights, yeah, which is probably good. Midtones went up a little bit. I think the problem is the shadows got lightened up too much. No, it's the blacks. Really deepened the blacks here. So let's pull those up a bit. Yeah, that's a little bit better. And I often check the haze. I think we'll just go with like -10 is good. Structure. It's getting kind of crunchy. I think we'll just keep structure where it was, 0. And let's change the white balance. Daylight as shot. Doesn't change anything there. Cloudy. Shade. Daylight. Yeah, daylight seems pretty good. We can also use the color picker tool here and find something white and set the white point. Yeesh. No, way too warm. I'm going to undo that. Okay. So, let's maybe up the contrast just a titch. And I think we are good to hop over into the effects tab. All right, so I'm thinking this photo needs to be in black and white, and I'm just going to add a black and white filter. And yeah, it looks better already, and you can see here the options for the black and white filter. My favorites are Adele, Coffee, Chrome is pretty good. I like the deep black sometime, but we'll just look at this. You know what? Let's go back to Coffee. Coffee's pretty good. Chrome. Okay, so Adele is way too black. Okay, so let's go with Chrome. Okay, but I'm going to want to lighten up his skin a little bit and maybe darken up back here. So first we'll turn this on and off. Yeah, okay, for now, let's go into toner. No, not toner, sorry. Tone. And we'll drop the brightness a little bit. Pull up the shadows just a little bit, drop the highlights. I think this is good for now. And let's go over to dynamic contrast. And we want to add some contrast, but we basically want it just here on our subject. We don't really need it in the background. What I'm really looking forward to in On1 Photo Raw 2023 is the AI select, where you just tell it I want to select a person and it would select the whole person. But we'll go through this. We'll do a mask, and I'm just going to try the AI mask, and we're going to go with drop. So I don't want anything over here. Don't want anything over here. And now we'll go with keep. Reduce the size of that a little bit. Basically just outline everything that we want to keep in the mask. all this stuff down here, this stuff here, this stuff here. Oh, wait, undo. I went too far. This, this, and let's go back to drop. Drop that, maybe get a little bit tighter in there, a little tighter in there. All right, so this looks pretty good. We'll just draw one over here and hit apply, see how it does with the auto masking. And auto mask is pretty good, but I'm gonna have to clean it up a little bit because you can see it missed part of the shirt here, added some of this other stuff, and the bicycle. But I'm just gonna, actually, you know what? Let's just reduce our brush size and go no, 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 no. And then we'll add, just to be safe, draw it along here, draw along here. And let's apply again. All right, that's looking pretty good. We're gonna have to clean it up with the brush once we're in here, and Control M, and we can see our mask. And right now we're in paint out, so I'll just fix this over here, paint out here. And I'm gonna turn on the smart mask. Whoops. Oh, no, we were in refine. Go back to masking tools. Paint it out, and we'll turn on the smart tool, drop the font size, brush size, and just go like this, and then I'm going to go back over here and hold down the Alt key to reverse the brush. Let's fit this and get in really tight here. And Alt is reversing the brush to remove, or sorry, add in the mask. Fit. Okay, mask is looking pretty good, but let's clean up here along the edges. We'll go to refine, and I forget which tool I need to use here, chisel or blur. We'll chisel, and is it add? No, we want to remove, right? So now we just draw along. Whoops. Sorry, we did want to add. So we want to add into the picture, which just takes 1 or 2 pixels off. And that's cleaning that up. And now we'll remove it and just get here and right along there where we're really far out. And let's add along here and remove again there. Okay, so let's check the other side of the table, and we need right there, and add just barely along the edge, and go back to the mask tool and turn off perfect brush. And let's fit. All right, so this mask's not perfect, but it's pretty good for what we're going to do here. We can just double check that by changing the mask view mode to grayscale, and it looks pretty good. So let's do that, and maybe we'll feather the mask just a titch to smooth things out. Control M, so we remove that overlay. And now, on and off, we can see he's really sharp. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this mask. And I am now going to go over to the local tab. And I'm going to paste in the mask and invert it because I want to darken the background. And our default mask or our default adjustment is always exposure -1, but you can easily tweak that a little bit. I'm going to make that a half and maybe drop down the midtones and really drop down the highlights a lot there. Okay, so this is pretty good. Let's go back to effects and we'll add a tone enhancer. And our tone enhancer will be to make the midtones lighter. And we'll paste in this mask because we really only want to make him lighter, not everything else. And we can see that it's improved that. Let's hide the masking options. And when you use a tone enhancer, the setting is always with the curves area, but you can further adjust this with the sliders here. So I'm going to increase the shadows a little bit here and the exposure just a titch, 0.2. Maybe open up here and we'll up the shadows just a little bit more. Yeah, I like that. Okay, well, my eyes are really dry. Just give me a second. Okay, so we turn this off and turn it back on. And yeah, I think the exposure on this guy is correct now. I'm quite happy with that. I do think that, we want to de-emphasize the background a little more. It's rather cluttered and it's still a little bit brighter than I would like. So I think I'm going to try a lens blur filter. We'll see how that goes. Might disable that. And again, paste in this mask and invert it because, oh yeah, this is not so good because you see we got a lot of fringing along the edge here, but we can probably fix that. And the first thing we're going to do is we don't want this much lens blur. So we're going to drop this down a lot. Oh, I got rid of that fringing for the most part. And here, on or off, on. Okay, I'm going to increase the lens blur a little bit more. And then, yeah, okay. We can kind of see it's kind of rubbing up along the edge here. So what I probably need to do is view the mask. And what are we going to do? We are going to refine the mask and remove. Along here. Undo this. Oh yeah, whoops. All right, I don't, okay, there, I got rid of that. I don't know how that came on, but let's refine this mask. Just painting right along the edge here where it's a little blurry where it shouldn't be. And maybe just a little bit along the edge of his face and his hands here. And this orange, or whatever it is that he's eating. Oh, my mouse is freezing here. I'm moving, but it's not moving. Okay, I'm quite happy with that. And let's go full version here. Let's try once again along the edge of his face. Yeah, I think that helped out a little bit. Right here on the top of his hat. Okay, so this is pretty good. I'm going to hide the mask and I'm going to turn this on and off. Okay, so no blur, blur. And maybe it's blurred just a little bit too much. Let's drop it down again. Let's put this at 2. Okay, on, off. Yeah, perfect. All right, so I'm happy with that. And I'm going to copy this mask because it's a little bit better. And let's add, before we go further, let's add a vignette. And we'll probably go with Big Softy because that's an awesome one. And we really have a lot of space along the edge. So Big Softy. It's a little bit strong, so let's pull back on the opacity. Off, on, off, on. Yeah, I'm happy with that. And one last filter, we're going to try Sunshine. I really like the Sunshine filter, brightens things up a bit. And so we'll go in here and we're going to paste our mask in and we're going to invert it because we want the sunshine mostly on here. But I'm going to reduce the density of the mask so some of the sunshine pops into the background. And you can see that when the black becomes this darker gray. So around 70. Yeah, I like this. I like this sunshine. I'm pretty happy with this. I'm going to call this a shot. So if you like this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. You can also find me on Instagram, Vero, and my website, sean-smith.net, and there will be links to that in the description. Thank you for watching.